This week is all about nailing the hypnotic interview for extremely powerful client results. And no, this is not about asking the best questions. This is not about giving you a list of questions to ask or recommending a book with 1,000 powerful solution-based questions to help you with your clients. We're going to completely eliminate all of that shit that is based on outside theory and models, and instead, how you really can nail your hypnotic interview and have your clients' minds blown because of the amazing transformation they've just had with you is to apply these three concepts that I'm about to talk about. And so let's just get straight into it, shall we? The very, very first concept. And when I talk about concept, this is not a technique that you will learn. The main difference with using a conversational approach into your sessions to have the breakthroughs happen is to use principles instead of techniques. The minute you go, okay, I'm going to ask these five questions because these five questions went really, really well for my last client, put it in a different client. You have now just put that client in a box of assumptions and conclusions. We don't want to do that shit, right? And also, when we look for techniques other than the person in front of us, we are putting our clients in a box. And this was something that I didn't realize I was doing because I just didn't know better. But once you free flow and have a completely 100% conversational approach, this is when things happen naturally, organically, easily, more effortlessly, and you don't have to stress the fuck out inside your sessions. And so the first principle that we're talking about is curiosity. And I know that you already think and know that you are a curious person. You are a hypnotherapist after all. And so you're already doing this. However, we lose our curiosity by learning the traditional methods because we're reading the script. That's not curious. We are taking what a client says, and the client says, I just fear failure so much, and I'm so paralyzed by not taking action because I fear failure. And then we say, okay, let's reframe this, and then let's put a swish pattern technique on this. That is not, first of all, that's not how a conversation works, right? If you were to talk to your very best friend who does not know shit about hypnosis or transformations or therapy, and they come to you with a problem, they say, "Hey, I really feel like I fear the failure. I'm about to put myself out there for a promotion at my work, and I have this fear that I'm going to fail." Are like you're when you're in a conversation with this person in a cafe, are you gonna look at that person and say, "All right, now close your eyes. I'm gonna now count to 10. You're gonna relax your whole body now. 10, 9, 8, blah, 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 blah. Let's go to the beach. You're going deeper. Imagine that you have magnets in between your hands. Do you do that shit? No, you don't. So that's a very unnatural way to help people. And instead, when you are curious and you're just asking your friend a question and saying, what are you scared of? Like, what are you scared of with regards to this? And then they start talking. How do you think they'll be when you take that approach of just curiosity and being very casual and saying, "Yeah, so like tell me what you're actually scared of." From that approach, very conversational versus, all right, now take your fear of failure and go back to three scenes in your past that have to do with your fear of failure. Five, four, three, two, one, click, click, click. That is very unnatural. So if you want truly powerful results and you want your clients to completely trust you, it is through being casual. Because once we turn that hat on of fix it mode of saying, okay, let's do that swish pattern on this person, that is not how humans communicate. And when we're more casual and curious and just allowing ourselves to ask whatever question that comes out of our mouth, even though the words are not right, this is when we truly connect with people. People don't connect with people who are fake as fuck, right? We connect with people who are real, who say because that's part of who they are. It is not someone who's completely verbose and like motivational Tony Robbins beachy like person, because that is not how we normally converse as human beings, right? So if you take your sessions and look at how you're doing, how artificial and how much show that you're trying to put on, that can really affect your results moving forward. And I used to do this, right? I used to be like, I'm going to practice my voice and I'm going to practice the recording. And I even edited the recording because I said, and there was too much silence and doing all that shit to artificially try to help the client. Obviously, it was in a well-meaning, it was from a well-meaning place, but it really took away the beautiful imperfection of being a human, just helping another human out. And so when you are curious, when you're just asking your questions, when you're allowing yourself to be imperfect in front of your clients, this is what establishes the rapport. This is what establishes that trust. This is how you can get them to up, open themselves up like the Pandora's box within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your session. So this is how you nail it. Just be curious. Don't be artificial. Don't be trying to be a hypnotherapist. Just be a good fucking human being and help a person out. The second one is what I mentioned already, which is to stop applying techniques and planning and instead be in the moment. And I'm going to touch on the third principle also, which is how you actually approach your sessions moving forward. Instead of planning, instead of being like, okay, so I have a fear of failure session, and I'm going to assume that they have a really shitty traumatic childhood, because maybe that's what you've been taught. Maybe that's what you were what you have been made to believe, and you do believe right now, but can you see the limitations of that? And can you see how your own confirmation bias can affect the direction of the session? Expecting and planning and trying to control the session by saying, this is what I'm going to do inside my session when a client says this, is the opposite of curiosity. And it is making the session more about you more than being in the client, because being present in the moment with a client looks like this. There was something lagging. Okay. Being present with a client looks like this. You ask them a question, right? Hey, what is the problem? They answer that question. They answer that question. And based on that answer, what is the problem, right? I have a fear of failure. A fear of failure, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to get the promotion at my work. Based on that, that is how you formulate your next question. So what are you afraid about? Or what are you afraid of? Right? Taking that. That is the next question. Client hears that and they will answer and they'll say, I'm afraid that I won't have enough money. I really need this promotion for my family, right? My family is important to me. Based on that, that is how you're going to ask your next question. All right, so your family is very important to you. How important is your family to you? Next question, again and again and again and again. That is simple. You do not need to think of anything. You do not need to overthink. You do not need to prepare everything, because the client becomes your technique. The client becomes your script. The client does not need the audio. The client will do it on their own if you if you do the job well of helping them investigating their own problem. And so this is how you truly nail your hypnotic interview. And in the conversational hypnosis world, this is the first part and the last part of our session. In the big timeline scheme of things, this is how we we do it. This is how we plan our sessions, or not, we don't plan that. This is how we conduct our sessions through the hypnotic interview, through investigating client problem. And so this answer question method is super simple, right? That's the basic framework. And without this framework, the hypnotic interview will fall flat on its face. And I betcha that this makes so much sense and be like, Fritz, that's really easy. However, if you put this in practice, especially if you haven't done it frequently yet, like with any new thing that you learn, it's going to be a bit challenging. It definitely was for me when I learned it, because this is not how we were taught to ask our questions. We were taught to rely on a book based on theory by some people who have copied other people and regurgitated shit from the binder and pretends that all people are the same. Soapbox there for a minute. But really, this formula of question answer based on the answer question again and again and again is a lot more difficult than what it seems. This is exactly why inside the trainings, this is emphasized. That we spend hours and hours and hours and hours on this simple principle, because this is the biggest factor as to how you can truly help people through a conversation without needing to rely on scripts or techniques, without having to rely on buying all the books about hypnosis and therapy, because you will learn on the spot how to actually help someone in a therapeutic fashion using their own resources. Isn't that super powerful? And you can learn this. You can learn this skill. You can either learn it theoretically and you can apply it on your next session right now. If you have some clients today or over the weekend, I would encourage you to play around with this simple framework. Or if you want a place that can actually help you to master this concept, then first of all, I do have a conversational hypnosis training program. And at the same time, I also have a free workshop class that I do every week on Tuesdays, Australia time, called Free Flowing Hypnosis Sessions, Going Beyond Scripts and Techniques. And this weekly event is where we practice solely this skill set of how to ask our questions using what our clients give us. Think of it as like your weekly gym for your therapeutic muscles. This is a skill set. This is a muscle that can be strengthened over time. This is not something that you will buy or me to tell you what the questions are. This is work. You, in the work, you put in the mastery for your craft, for your clients, for your satisfaction. And so if you want to join free flowing sessions, definitely drop the link below to access it. I will also drop the link below so you can RSVP. It is a $0 event for now. So get in as much as you can. If you cannot catch up on the replay, or if you can't make it live, the replay link will be available for 30 days after the event, so you can watch it and learn for yourself. It's definitely a lot better seeing it in action, seeing other people do it rather than me just talking about it in a live. You'll learn a lot more within these trainings, and it's going to blow your mind in a great way, which will really help you free flow your sessions and be more confident and less stressed out in your sessions, because you no longer have to think of what to say, what to do, and what to give your clients. It will be right in front of you and you'll know how to utilize it. So I hope that this helped. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Let's make a massive impact together, one conversation at a time.